Hey guys, it's Ellen here, and it's Floral Friday. It's a watercolor practice day, so I'm just painting this off the cuff. I show you how I create it, so you can try and create something similar where you're just moving the brush around. Just going to be using two brushes, the Princeton 10 and the Princeton 10 Neptune brush, and the Princeton 4 Velvet Touch Series brush, long round. So I got a tiny little brush and a bigger brush, and we'll talk about color a little bit. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Please also don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorials are up. They're always not up at the same time every time I do them. So you hit the bell notification button, you'll know when they're up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also, check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, exclusive tutorials on Thursday. So that's 4 extra videos that are not on YouTube that come with traceables and reference photos. I have traceables on there. And I have a live stream on the top tier and also like a free download if you're on the top tier. So check it out. Boop, up here. Yeah, it's a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much because you guys are awesome. So without further ado, let's get painting. All right, guys, I'm going to go over my supplies. I have a piece of Arch 100% cotton cold press paper. This is the 9x12 pad. I have a loose pad. They come in like, pads where they're attached with wax around so they don't come up and buckle, but I like the loose ones because they're cheaper and easier to do. My palette, my paints, paper towels. I have my water jars up here, and I'll be playing around with a few brushes. I have my Princeton 10 Neptune series. I have my 8 and 4 long round series, Velvet Touch series. So we're just doing a watercolor practice, simple, quick, little fun tutorial today. It's just keep it going. So I'm gonna grab some water. We're gonna mix up some greens. I got my cadmium yellow deep here. A lot of cadmium yellow deep. Get up my brush, and I'll grab some peacock blue. Make a nice pretty green. Isn't that lovely? I always like to have another green here. I grab Prussian blue. See, it's deeper and darker, and a little burnt umber to make it a deeper green. Let's make a nice pretty orange kind of tone. We have our quinachradone magenta and the yellow again. Making like a nice reddish orange color. And you can make it pinker or more yellow, whatever you want to do. I'm going to make a blush color up here. So I'm going to grab my magenta and a little bit of this color here. See, maybe a little more yellow. We're going to start off with this and see where it goes. This is where you just have fun and play. I'll move this out of light over here. So I'm going to start off by doing the center. I'm going to get on my brush. It's fairly wet, as you can see. Consistency. And I'll just figure out, I'm going to start off over here like a circle. Just simple like this. I'll grab some of that dark paint on my brush. Kind of put it on the edge like there. And then I'm going to start to grab, going to my brush, some of the orange. I'm going to water this down a little bit more on one side. All right, so I'm just going to do this motion where I'm going like this, kind of on its side. So, see that? It's a little wet. Just kind of like this. And then like this, and leaving some white spaces in between. So I'm going like this. Take the tip too, kind of draw it like that. You can add some more color. Just gonna make these loose, free poppies, just like that. See, and I kind of touch the green and it's bleeding a little bit into it. And take some of the paint and go like that. A little bleed is good. A lot of bleed, not so much. So then you can take the same color, orange, and we can start playing around with just painting that first. You can paint this on its side. See, little marks like that. Just kind of pushing the paint, kind of in a V, a soft V. Like another little one here. And do like a little half. See that? It's kind of like moving like this. And then a little mark like that. and then go back in again. So we get a little half one. Now you can get some concentrated color with that orange and go in here, just deepen that up. Same thing here. If you want it to bleed, don't have to do that. Mine's a little more red. I'll grab some more yellow. Put that right in there. Kind of like mixing paint on the flowers. Then I'm going to grab some of this lighter color. I'm adding more water to make it lighter. Maybe a little more yellow. Make it much lighter. And then put one out here. Again, this whole... I always tap it on my paper towel, as you can see, to get off excess paint to make it even lighter. Really pale color here. Just kind of like wiggle. See that? And I like the dry brush. Gotta get used to playing around with your brushes. Now wait for that one to dry before I add some color to it. You don't have to do this whole filling in kind of situation. You can do some more with using the tip of your brush. See, kind of drawing the flower. Just like that. Excuse me. Just like that. And then going up like this. And then another one just like that, but just a lighter, smaller one. And then I'll do another little one up here, kind of one that's not bloomed yet. See, it's kind of like a little oval. And I'll put another one like right there. And now I'm going to work with my greens again. So go back to the green that we had here, and add the center. Just fitting that right in the center. You can take some concentrated yellow, which means hardly any water to it. Kind of tap it on the sides. So it bleeds a little bit too. Same thing here. And add the green center. Gonna add this green center here. Gonna grab some yellow. If it's bleeding, that's fine with me. I don't mind it. Again, the green and the yellow. And then we're gonna use this green to make some of our stems. I'm going to grab a little bit of this color too. So just kind of take this and kind of bend it, and this one kind of wiggle bend, right? Poppies have just kind of like this funky stems. I'm going to bend that one crisscross. Crisscross applesauce. Kind of have this one coming down, and this one kind of going right in the middle. And then this one kind of leaning over this way. And then we'll do some like ones that haven't been bloomed yet. So we can put some, again, crisscross, just the green itself. Add a little bit of dark green here. Put some dark green ones like that. Do a couple of those up here. And I think I'm going to add some smaller ones. Put some down here. It's just like a little oval with the stem. And kind of bring it down. And do another one here. Little ones here. We're building our whole floral here. And just putting another one up in the middle. I think I'm going to add some smaller flowers. So clean up my brush. I'll grab this color. I'm going to add a little more magenta to the orange element. And I'm just going to do some small little bright little flowers. Change it up a little bit. So you're doing the same premise with the flowers, but you're just adding small ones. And you can use the tip of this, so you have this color, and use the tip and kind of just paint in some lines. It's still damp, so it's kind of bleed a little bit. but when it stops, you know, when it starts to dry. Now look at that little mess, huh? If you don't like that, you can clean off your brush, kind of lift up the paint a little bit. And go back in and fill it in. And then when it dries, you can go back in and add the green. That's kind of how you fix that. This area is fairly dry. You can go add another layer color. See, I'm just drawing in my tip of my brush. Little marks here. Same thing here. Go back over here with this color. You can add some of the bright pink one to it too. Just on the edge, just a tip. This brush. See how you do that? Might put in some yellow flowers. Grab my cadmium yellow deep, mix in a little of this orangey blush color, and put a little yellow one down here. So I've got a lot of like warm, cool, I mean not warm, cool, like hot color tones. Keeping it in that family. Yellows and reds. I don't want to go out here anymore. Kind of want to crowd a little bit in here. Right? I'm going to let that dry because it's going to bleed. You can go and put the green in, but it will bleed. It might be better if you made more of a concentrated paint color. See? A little bit of water, and it won't bleed as much. Less bleeding with less water. Do a little stem right there. And I'll put this one kind of out here. There. And then you just go to the details. You can use the same brush. I like using sometimes just a bigger brush because it keeps you looser. So I'm making that dark orangey kind of color. Tip. If you're having difficulty using the tip of this brush, you can go in and grab like the number 4. See, and then you can make all your little marks. I'm gonna add some bright color right in here. I'm just going to tap in some color where it's still wet. I can bleed it in. Again, just make those little marks, little lines, like so. This is just a quick little fast painting. Have some marks coming here and here. And again, the orange. This one's still a little damp, but I'm going to play with it. Adding little marks. And then for the yellow, just get a deeper yellow. See how I'm mixing a deeper yellow here? Same premise. You're going to just draw in some little marks. This part is still wet, so it's bleeding it. This one is drier. See that? And then I would go in and take a dark green. So I'm going to make a dark green that's not so wet. Prussian, peacock, yellow. There we go. And some burnt umber. Have more control when it's not wet. I'm just kind of tapping next to that center stamen part. Same thing here. And here. Just next to the flower. You can add some of the dark green, like on the side of the stems, just like this, on beneath the stems, just to give it some variety. And again, up in here, you do these lines. Listen, don't be afraid to go outside of the stem too, like I just did. It adds more variety to it. And again here, just drawing these little lines and putting some dark green next to it. Can add some dark green stems like that. Go right over the color we had put there before. Just like that. If you want to add leaves, you can add leaves. I think I like just like the stems. Kind of fun. It's just playing with paint and brushes. So I clean off that. And again, this concentrated yellow, since it's still damp, but I'm going to play around with it again. Add a little more of this yellow. You see how I'm mixing the paints that we already mixed? Do that with your color. Then you get really unique colors. Come back in here. Just add a few darker tones. Same thing with this one. Take some concentrated yellow. I'm going to tap that around. It's my doodle-it if you hear barking. And here's a yellow one I forgot about. So basically that's all you're doing is kind of like washing in the flat color, taking a skinnier brush or a tip of it and making those little lines. And not on every single petal, not on every single leaf. This one had the green wash out a little bit. I'll have to go back in and add that. And then just go in here and add the green. Again, a little yellow. And some of that dark green. Just really simple, loose flower. Now this one up here, I didn't put the green in up here. Can't forget these guys. I did forget their stems though, didn't I? Can add those in. And you can make things a little bit different by adding in like another stem or a variety of leaf if you wanted to do that. Just to change it up. Like a little teeny little twig kind of looking. See that? Just these little teeny little sprays using this brush. It's just playing. Having some fun. You can grab a little umber, a little brown, sprays. And that's that. Just a simple poppy. I might want to go in and add some yellow around here. Floral. I love doing these. This is my favorite thing to do. Because they're just simple. Now I know you say, oh, it's not that easy. You washed in the color, like you add the circles, you take a little skinny brush, do a couple little lines, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let me show you one close. So there, wiggle, line, wiggle. That's kind of how you do it. Wiggle, 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 up, wiggle, wiggle, up, wiggle, wiggle, up. I don't do every single petal. See that? That's how I form that. And that's how we do it. And then, like you said, you can get the details. You can add little dots here. More concentrated, bright green going in the center. Playing around with that. These ones I kind of left a little flat. If I want to go back in, I can add some, you know, can even add some green. Just wiggle that. Just like we did with the other ones. I'm not going to fuss too much with that. Green or brown. Same thing here. Just going to play around with color. Can add some brighter pink. And that's that. That's how I do my little simple flowers watercolor practice. Here, grab this green. You could put little leaves See, I'm just kind of wiggling it, adding those little ditzy kind of petals. Just adds something else. Makes it a little more dainty, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, those little leaves, these stems. Just taking the brush and pushing it around so it looks like little leaves. And this is how I create my little fun loose flowers. So I hope you guys enjoy this Floral Friday practice. Just practice with your brushes, move the paint around, use a skinny brush, use a fat brush, you know, mix color and paint on each other. Don't worry about it, don't fuss about it. Again, I might go back in again here and there, take some color. I think when you stand back and look at it, you're like, I want it darker here, lighter here. Play around with it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Also, please don't forget to check out my Patreon. I have a lot of extra content, ad-free videos, exclusive tutorials, live stream once a month, all that kind of jazz. And please hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial's up. Thanks guys, have a great weekend. I'll speak to you soon.